So in this video on opportunity functionality within Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales, we're going to cover off opportunity views. Now this is one in the series we've done specifically on opportunity related functionality in Dynamics. You can see links to others in the series below. Also, if you've got suggested content ideas or you need anything help with Microsoft Dynamics, please see the links below. Anyway, let's dive into the system and talk about what we mean by opportunity views. So I'm in the opportunities area, and I'm in an opportunity view at the moment called Open Opportunities. Now, this is not perhaps earth-shattering functionality. It's fairly mundane, but the views capabilities of Dynamics are really, really powerful, and it allows you to start to sort of surface your opportunity data in a way that makes it really accessible and really powerful. So it's just worth exploring these features. So firstly, I'm in an open opportunity view, which is my default. So I can set a default view, and then I've got a down arrow here. If I click on that, that's going to give me a list of other system views that I've got. So a view is a combination of data columns and filters, and I'll explain those in a moment. But I've got a number of system views, from all opportunities to my open opportunities to lost opportunities to won opportunities, etc. I've also got, as indicated by the little person icon, a personal view. Now I'll do a separate video on how to create your own personal views, but that's for a future video, and we won't go into that on this one. But those are the different views that we've got. Now, as I say, a view is made up of the columns of data. So my columns are topic, potential customer, estimated close date, estimated revenue, contact account probability, rating, etc. And I've got some filters. So in other words, what criteria is it showing? Now, this should be reasonably simple. If I click on Edit Filters, and this one, it's got a status of open, so it's open opportunity, that makes sense. And this one's a bit weird, just because I've migrated some opportunity data in because I wanted to set up the lead scoring capabilities for a future video, and it's fairly rubbish dummy data, so I wanted to hide it. So hence, topic does not contain CSV as in CSV file, so that's the reason for that. So we've got the ability to have filters, and we've got the ability to have columns. We can edit those columns as we can edit those filters, and when we create personal views, I explain exactly how to do that. So I can edit the columns that are displayed here. Perhaps I didn't want that email of the potential customer. I've got 3 dots on the end there. I could remove it. I could add a column. So I can add a column from the opportunity entity or a parent record if I wanted to. So if I wanted sales stage, for example, just type in there for sales stage, select that, close that, and I can drag and drop that if I want that to appear in a different order. I can apply that. Now, because it's applied there now, because it's a system view, then when I leave that, it won't be saved unless I save this variation of the system view as a personal view, in which case I've got access to that view moving forward. So that's how that's sort of set up in terms of columns and filters. Now we've also got different data view types. So I've got sort of what is the traditional read-only grid. So effectively it's a grid, and if I want to go into one of the records, I just double click on it and open it up. But I've got other options as well. So at the top here, I've got a show as. So I can show as, let's say, a focus view, which is another different type of view from the read only. And as you can see, I'm quite sure where it jumped to that. Let's just go back to open opportunities. As you can see, I've got on the left hand side, I've got the records, and then on the right hand side, I've got the detail of those records. So it's kind of pre-opened them. So if I just go through the list, it changes the record. And it just means I can sort of work my way through a list, sort of updating the screen as I go along. So I don't kind of have to specifically open it up in order to update it. So that's the focused view. And there is a special opportunity view called the pipeline view. And I've done a separate video on that. So, I mean, it's quite a powerful rendering of the information. We've got things like sort of roll-up fields, which we can edit and personalize. I've got the ability to change this view from deal tracker to sales funnel. I've got the ability to drill down, etc., etc. So there's quite a lot of power in that as well. The other view I've got, which if I go to my open opportunities, and we will just switch that to an editable grid, I can set up my view to have an editable grid. So this is designed really to get round that issue that perhaps salespeople who've traditionally done forecasts with Excel spreadsheets, which are nice and easy to use, don't necessarily feel happy opening each opportunity record, updating it, closing it, going to the next one. So this is a view in which you can literally just work with the view as if it was an Excel spreadsheet. So there you go. I've just updated that record without opening it within the view. That's editable grids. And the other one I will show, now you need to set that up in the background. It's a sort of administrator controlled function. And then I think if I go to all opportunities, we've got, if I go to show as, let's just refresh that. Yeah, so I've got a Kanban option as well. Again, that is a control that needs to be put on the view in the back end. But once that's applied, and it's very simple to do that, then you've got the option of being able to display records on a Kanban view. So those are the various different sort of view permutations. If I just come out to read-only grid, I've also got the ability to display a chart. So if I just click on show chart, I've got a chart appear down the left hand side, and I've got my sort of read-only grid appearing to the right. Now I can change the chart, so if I click on that, I've got a mixture here. I've been doing some personal charts, some test ones on previous videos. So we've got a sequence of personal charts I've created, and you've got a sequence of system charts that are maintained in the back end by the administrator or your implementation partner. I can select one of those. For example, I can select the sales pipeline, and that's displaying the, as its name suggests, the sales pipeline. And the power of this, besides the sort of graphical rendering the data, I can just click on one of these segments, and then it automatically filters down the records on the right. So if I wanted to look at what's in the develop phase, I can just click on that, and then that sort of filters that group of records. If I wanted to further drill down, for example, I could pick an attribute. So I can either pick from the pick list, or I can search. So let's say I want to search by rating, and I want to look at that detail by bar chart, then I could do that. And if I actually wanted to filter down further into one of those, I could do that. So got a lot of power in terms of that charting capability. The other thing we've got is, if I just come out of that, let's just go into, let's hide the chart. If we remove our chart now, the other thing I've got, which is a sort of initiation, if you like, into sort of the power of Power BI, which is Microsoft's flagship reporting tool. I can just click visualize this view, and then that will build a Power BI rendering of the data in that particular view, which can be quite powerful and quite insightful. It takes a minute or two to run. I'll just view that, and so we can see our report that it's trying to take what it sees as the most interesting pieces of data and sort of surfacing them in a Power BI dashboard. But I can actually change how that dashboard is put together, and I can save it for future use if I want to. Just additional features on views. I've got the ability with the 3 dots to export data out into Excel if I wanted to. I've got access to the table-specific dashboard of 4 opportunities. I've done a separate video on that, so you can go in and access that video and explore what's available through that. Table-specific dashboard is a little bit different from the system dashboards, which we've also covered in a video in this series. Let's come back out of that, and the last couple of things I'm going to show are the fact we can, if we wish to, just flag a couple of records. If I wanted to edit those, I've got the ability to mass edit records. So let's say there were several I wanted to change the value on simultaneously, then I can just tick them and click the mass edit, and okay, I've got some inactive records on there, but and I can't, once a record's inactive it's locked, but I can perform a mass edit on those records. Anyway, hopefully that's a quick introduction and useful introduction into the power of views within the opportunities area in Dynamics. It's, as I say, it's a fairly mundane piece of functionality which people take for granted but don't always fully understand its full capabilities. But it's a really, really powerful way of surfacing your opportunity data and to make it as useful as possible to you. Anyway, I'll say this is one of the series we've done specifically on opportunity related functionality within Dynamics. You can see links to others in the series below. Also, if you've got suggested content ideas or you need any help with Microsoft Dynamics, please see the links below. Anyway, thanks very much for your time today, and hopefully see you again soon.